Okay, it's Monday morning in Newport, Rhode Island, and we're about to set off on the New England 1000. Sam Hallowell had invited me to do this rally he's been wanting to do with the Taylors for many years. So here we go. This is the beginning of a 4-day trip, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. Okay, day two, start of day two on the New England 1000. It was a fun day. A lot of variation on cars. Everything from a Testarossa to a C7 Vet. Really nice pairings. Got a Daytona, our 365 GTC4. A Bentley, Maserati, GTC, a Volvo, 4.2 E-Type, NSX, going, 300 Roadster, an 8V, and of course, always a ton of 911s. Rich Taylor's invited Porsches. They used to do vintage rallies, and admittedly, these are considered vintage 356s. But is a Carrera considered a vintage? But he's realized that these guys love driving, and they should be invited as well. So certainly has brought them in, and even 458s. So no, it's been fun. So before we get going, I was just going to go through Sam's car a little bit just to make sure. Probably had I don't know how many miles we've done yesterday. I mean, it's probably a few hundred, and what I wanted to do is just check oil, make sure there's nothing leaking. This car is pretty reliable, so second latch didn't go. GTC4s and Daytonas have two latches, so you kind of have to make sure both of them are pulled. And this engine compartment is really clean. John Terrell at Independent Ferrari Service does this work, so did a really nice job when they rebuilt this engine and detailed everything back. But one of the neat things about a GTC4 is just how you have 6 DCOE carburetors, side draft carburetors across this engine. It's pretty impressive when you pop the hood. But let me go get a rag. Tap off the extra here. Let's see what we got. We're probably about a quart low, if you can see that reflection. First mark is between the top and the first mark is usually about a quart. So let me go get a quart of oil and throw it in there. Okay, why is that not unscrewing? Oh, it's just a long screw. There we go. I guess I found a cord of Brad Penn in the trunk, so I'm assuming that's what Sam is using. We use 2050, really heavy stuff on these cars, because they just like heavy oil, not the really light stuff that everybody sees. Brad Penn has like this green dye in it. It's really dark, but that's what they use. So I may not put all of it in, but at least let me put half, if not 3/4 in, because I know we're probably a quart away, but I'd rather have it a little light than overfill it. Let it settle in. It's pretty cold this morning, so it takes a little bit of time for the oil to get all the way to the bottom of the sump. Yeah, it's getting up there. All right, great. That little bit will help just even it out if we're low. Check the coolant. Make sure the coolant's up to level. Yep. Just make sure you can feel it on the top of the radiator. That should do it. Really, that's all you need to check is just coolant, oil, take a peek at the brake master, and go from there. Alright, it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or is it Monday morning? It's Tuesday morning. I've already lost track of what time and what day it is, but it's Tuesday morning. We started out on Sunday on the New England 1000. This is a rally that Rich and Gene Taylor have done for 30 some odd years. 35 years, and I'm with Sam Hallowell in his 1972 365 GTC4. Sam and I have done rallies before, but this is one where we've been wanting to do, and Sam's been wanting to do for years. And the funny story is that Sam wanted to do it, just couldn't do it, and he finally said, look, if I don't do it soon, we're just never going to get a chance to do it. Would you mind doing it with me? And of course I said I would do it. And Sam's wife said to me, thank you so much for doing this, because then I can let Sam enjoy his time doing these rallies, and you get to be the navigator, and I didn't have to do that. So I said, look, Elizabeth, don't worry about it. It's certainly my pleasure. So it's certainly not a hard thing to do. So we're on the rally, and each day, yesterday we probably did a couple hundred miles up from Newport, Rhode Island, up to Whitfield, or is it Whitefield? Whitefield, New Hampshire, and stayed at Mountain View Hotel Resort up on the top of the hill. Beautiful scenery up there, and then now we're back on the road in the morning, and we're heading back down to the shore in Maine to go to Kennebunkport. So it's we're heading straight, I think straight east, and a little further south, but across Maine from New Hampshire, and we're back on the road. This rally does different types of rallying where you can actually do time and distance. So they give you a stage. So I'll show you here is that you get a route book, and it tells you the time and distance and the mileage and each turn by turn. So you basically follow this through all day, and I'm checking off as we go as a navigator, and that's how this particular rally works. And Sam drives and takes my directions, or we swap places and take turns, and we get to the second stage. Those that really want to be accurate or competitive, they're given a start time on a sheet. So what happens is they tell you, look, your departure time was, we left at 8:18 this morning, and they show you that you have a how long the driving time should be, what your average speed should be, and how many miles, and you should be able to calculate as a navigator how far you should go and what time your arrival time. And let's say we left at 8:18, so we should be arriving at 165 minutes after we left. We're not that we're not that competitive.
Slaves.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Accuracy.
Exactly. We would actually enjoy the drive and the company and the scenery, as opposed to having my head buried in a book, reading and calculating all the way and telling them we need to speed up or slow down. So this is more what it is. And you know, even though right now we're kind of stuck behind a truck and driving along, you know, the road and the scenery is just great, crossing from New Hampshire into Maine. But
that might be Mount Washington.
yeah, and I think that might be Mount Washington up that way. I don't know if people would not necessarily be able to tell me whether or not I'm right or wrong, but it sure is high. Look at the clouds that are up there. It's certainly one of the taller peaks of the presidentials. But I'll keep shooting some video. But this is the beginning. This is the second day of our rally, and this is what it's all about. Driving in an old Ferrari on a rally, as opposed to showing it. This is another thing you can do in a vintage Ferrari. Well, it's the beginning of day 4 on the New England 1000 rally. It's early in the morning, and we're about to finish the final leg of this great 1,000-mile rally all around the Northeast. What's neat about this rally is that, or I think it happens on all rallies, is that the first day, you know, you meet everybody. Some people are veterans, so they know each other. It's like old home week. Everybody's hugs and kisses. And then there are the new guys who are new to either the rally or new to this group, and they're introduced. Everybody wears name tags, and you kind of start slowly and get your feel for the driving and the route and the timing and how everybody drives. And you know, you set a pace and you figure out whose group you belong in. And then second day and third day, you start recognizing the same people with different cars, and you start saying, hey, you know, you're the guy that drives the white Daytona, or you're the guy that drives the Volvo or the 330. And you start comparing notes, and some guys come up to you and say, oh, I have one of those cars, what do you think of it? And you start becoming friendly. And then at dinner, you find the same people, and you sit down and you have dinner with them, and you talk it out. And it's really just, you know, car guys being car guys. So that's what all these rallies are about. I think by day 3 and day 4, everybody all of a sudden becomes the best of friends, and they're staying later at the bar, and you know, just talking about more stuff. You're learning about their families, or learning about their kids, and it's just really nice. And by the end of it, everybody's exchanging, you know, business cards, and they're talking about, you know, let's get together, let's do this again. And then all of a sudden you end up being a veteran, because you'll come back the following year or the year later, and everybody just shares this whole experience. So I really recommend it if you enjoy driving your car, and you really like, you know, sharing the experience and doing something else besides showing it. This I highly recommend doing. There are many rallies around the country that do it. Some of them are exclusive and hard to get into and have, you know, are fully booked, but then there are plenty of them that they always make room for you. So consider it. It's really really a fun thing to do. And also, it's all for different price ranges and different places around the country. So look them up, and you know, even this one, the Gene and Rich have done this, the Taylors have done this rally for many years, over 30 years. So and you look at the variety of cars. This is, people would have these cars in a car show when you look at the variety and the scope. But at the same time, these cars are all driving. I mean, everything that you see in this parking lot has basically driven, you know, over 800 some odd miles already, and about to finish out with 1,000. So Pretty impressive, and all like-minded individuals. So yeah, great time. And I want to thank Rich and Gene for putting this thing on for so many years, and I'm so glad I finally got a chance to do it. So you know, New England 1000, look it up. Thanks for watching.